My presentation is MobiMoney. Getting started with the MobiMoney app. Users may install the app through the Google Play or Apple App Stores. New users, when logging into the application, they'll enter their card number, the security code, expiration date, as well as the billing address of the card. They'll also enter in their email address and a password. And they also have the option to create a passcode, and some users will be able to access the Touch ID feature. Logging in, users enter their username and password in the bottom right-hand corner. Homepage. When logging in, it brings you to the home page, shows the amount spent on cards this month, as well as a card summary and accounts summary. Card details. This lists the control preferences, alert preferences, recent transactions, as well as linked accounts. Account details. This shows the user's account number, account type, current and available balance, as well as the last time the balances were updated. Low balance alert. Users may turn this alert on or off at any time. They are alerted when the balance drops below the threshold they have selected. As you can see here, that one is $25. They are also alerted when the balance rises back above the threshold. Funds transfer. Users are able to transfer funds between two of their selected accounts, so from savings to checking. Recent transactions. Pending transactions will be shown first. Others are listed in chronological order. Tapping a transaction shows users the transaction status, the amount of the transaction, merchant type, as well as the transaction date. Transaction icons. You can see here listed there are several icons. At the very top there's a green check mark. This shows that the transaction is posted and an alert was not generated. And I'll just give you a few moments to review the remaining icons. Okay, control and alert preferences. Users may turn their card on or off using a green slider. Card on will show green, card off will show red. Control preferences continued. This allows the user to access the following control types: locations, merchant types, transaction types, and spending limits. Locations. This shows the user my locations, my regions, as well as block international. When location is turned on, the app will compare the device's location with the store location to decide whether or not to approve or deny a transaction. Region control allows the user to set up to 3 geographical locations where in-store transactions may be approved. Tapping Add Region will take the user to an interactive map where they can select the locations. When Block International control is on, transactions outside of the US are denied. Merchant Type Control. To turn merchant type controls on or off, the user taps the Enable Merchant Controls slider. All merchant control types will be enabled. Turning a specific merchant type off will disable transactions from those merchant types, such as entertainment, gas station, groceries, etc. Transaction type control. To turn transaction type controls off, users tap the Enable Transaction Controls slider. All transaction types will be enabled. Turning a specific type off will disable transactions from those merchant types, as you see listed. Spend limit controls. Tapping on spend limits will take the user to the spend limit control screen. The user taps on the per transaction slider to enter in a specific dollar amount. Any transaction above the amount will be denied. Alert preferences. Users may tap on alert preferences. This will show the Send Alerts For dropdown. And as you can see, it's set to preferred transactions. But when you originally click on it, it should show all transactions. And these alerts can only be received if the device is set to primary device. And as you see, when you click on the Send Alerts For button, this shows options that are all transactions, preferred transactions, or none. Now, preferred transactions allows the users to access location, merchant types, transaction types, and spend limits. If you were to choose none, you would only receive an alert for a denied transaction. Location alerts. Tapping on location will allow users to turn the following sliders on or off. My locations, which compares the device location and the merchant location. You'll receive an alert if they are different. My regions. Users again can set up to 3 geographical locations that will not send an alert. And block international. When this alert is on, the alert will be generated for any transaction that occurs outside of the United States. Merchant type alert. Tapping on merchant type will take the user to merchant type alerts. User taps enable merchant slider to enable the alerts. And when they are enabled, an alert will be triggered from any merchant that is not allowed. Transaction type alert. You click on the tap transaction type, and this will take you to the alert screen. Again, transactions can be turned on or off by selecting each individual slider, and turning one or more transaction type on will generate an alert if that transaction were to occur. Spend limit alerts. Tapping this option takes the user to the spend alert screen. When a certain dollar amount is enabled, any transaction above that amount will trigger an alert. Menu. Users can access the menu by tapping the blue 3 bars up in the top left-hand corner of their phone screen. This will give them options to select Home, which you're viewing right now, Transactions, Messages, Find Us, Contact Us, Legal and Help, Manage their portfolio, Settings, or Log Out. Choosing Find Us will allow the user to see ATMs in their area when their location services are enabled. Choosing Contact Us will show the user's Lake Huron Credit Union's address and location, as well as our phone number, our hours of operation, and our social media information. Legal and Help. Users may access the terms and conditions to the application, the privacy policy, help, desk, and MobiMoney support. Manage portfolio. Users may select cards to manage. If cards or accounts are unmanaged, users will unsubscribe from the service, and all controls or alerts will be disabled. Users also have an option to add a card, which will then add a secondary card to their MobiMoney account. Settings. This allows the user to update their personal information, their primary device status, to add a passcode, to update their password, or to activate the Touch ID feature, which again is only available to some users. Personal information. The user can update their full name, their email address, and their phone number. In primary device, users will enable the primary device by turning the slider on or off, and this is required to receive alerts and maintain control preferences. Do not disturb. The user can set a specific date and time that the app is not able to send an alert. Password. This allows the user to modify or update their existing password, and it has pretty standard password requirements, 8 to 12 characters, 1 upper and lower, 1 number, and 1 special character. And finally, logging out. By tapping on the log out icon, the user will be logged out of the MobiMoney application. And this was the reference that I used for this presentation, which is the Vantiv MobiMoney user guide. Thank you.